I always have to make sure that microphone is actually on. I'm going to take this off because no phone calls, please. We're getting ready to do coffee and create. We are getting ready for our morning to start right here at Two Girls Treasure. And I'm so glad that you are here to start the day with me. Making sure my camera's on there. Making sure my camera's on here. Put my glasses on so I could actually see it. Say hello if you have popped in. And let me know how you're doing this morning. I want to make sure we're on Facebook because we're still live on Facebook. Good morning, Lynette. Thank you. We're also on YouTube, and if you would like to shop the Coffee and Create collection, then watch us live on our website, twogirlstreasure.com. Once you get there, click that live shopping tab and we'll be there. And then when you're on the live shopping tab, you can actually click the shop button that's over my head and you can shop the products that are available that we're using today. We're on Facebook. That's wonderful. If you see that little link right above my head, you can click that and go to the website to watch as well. You can watch right here. You don't have to run away. You can watch right here. Good morning, Chris. How are you? I'm so glad to see you. Happy Thanksgiving week. Did you take the turkey out of the freezer yet? Today's the day. Yesterday was actually the day, but today is the day. If you don't take the turkey out today, it's not going to be ready in time for dinner. It's just not going to be. So make sure you do that. Have you done any raised stenciling? I am in love with raised stenciling. Let me show you why. Let me show you what. And then I'm going to show you how. Oh, I don't want to edit that. I want to show it. Click it. Look at that. Look how beautiful that turned out. That is our Catch the Rest on Replay. Oh, don't miss that 4K program. That's really important. But Lynette, look at the raised stenciling on this board. Now, this will be our donation to Temple Christian Academy, and this will be raffled off. So make sure you swing by or get in touch with Naomi Player or Temple Christian Academy so you can get your raffle ticket to win this Oh Holy Night raised stenciling. I have a little bit more shading to do today. I looked at it really hard last night, but doesn't it look like baby Jesus is lit up? That manger is lit up. That is compliments of our Rethunk Junk resin metallics. It is so amazing to work with those resin metals. I did not put those in the collection. I should add them there. If you purchase anything from the collection, and I left the coupon code available until 1 o'clock today, the coupon code is coffee. And coffee will save you 15% on any of the products that we're using. I threw some more Rethunk Junk paint colors in the collection for you to save on. I'll throw those resin metals in there as well because you're going to want those for all of your decor items for Christmas. Nothing is as perfect this time of year as Rethunk Junk resin metals. Let me show you what we're working with today, and let's talk about it for a minute. Swoop. Of course, I have my Rethunk Junk measuring cups. These are kind of mandatory for mixing my colors because these will hold up to 28 ounces of paint. I can measure the paint as I'm moving. This is a beautiful color. It's a blend of bluebird and peacock feather. And I have a little bit left. I'm going to go ahead and use this up today. I have my salt wash mixing cup you're gonna want one of these. I have the large size, we also have a smaller one, but you're gonna want this to work with your salt wash product. It has your measurements on here based on what kind of paint you're using, and then it has your measurements here so you can measure your ounces or your milliliters if you're that kind of person, and I'm not judging because I do ounces. Of course, I have to be flexible and do milliliters because a lot of my products you measure in milliliters, like my resins. I've got cloud because you know we need this. You need this for like everything you're doing. And I have salt wash. Salt wash. This comes in 3 different sizes. There is a sampler size, and today you can save 15%. The coupon code is coffee. Good morning, Becky. The coupon code is coffee because this is Coffee and Create live from Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. You can choose whichever size of salt wash you want to work with. If you love doing projects, get the large can because you're going to use it. It does go a long way, but there are a lot of projects you can do. If you're not sure and you just want to test it out, get the medium size or get the little sampler. Get the little sampler if you're just not sure, but get the salt wash because this is what we're going to use today. Now I have a couple of boards here and a stencil ready to go. I'm going to set those to the side and I'm going to show you this. Let me turn it around and set it down. This is our Oh Holy Night. Now remember, I just showed you the one we finished. I'll show it to you again. Solo. Look at that. All right, so this is a little bit abbreviated because I stopped at the wise men, I stopped at the shepherds. The donkey made it in, but the cow did not. The cow did not make it in, and I've got 1, 2, 3 wise men. I'm missing a camel, but that's okay. So I just had a smaller board to work with, so I abbreviated it. This is what your raised stencil will start as. And let me bring it in really close. I don't know that you can actually see unless I tip the board this way, but it's not just a stencil that you painted on. You temp. We actually used the stencil to create a raised image. Let me show you how to do this. I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm going to be careful so I don't drop it or knock it over. I want to show you how we can create a raised stencil. We're going to use our Merry Christmas stencil. I have a plain board and I have an already painted, this is a fence board. So this is perfect for a porch leaner. This is not sealed, but this is different shades of Rethunk Junk in grays and blues. And this will be weatherproof. This one will be made for indoor use. This is not a weatherproof treated lumber board. So this one you definitely don't want to use outside. Make sure you know what kind of lumber you're using before you make a porch leaner, because you don't want to make that porch leaner, put it outside and it come apart. And this is not made for outdoor use. So I'm going to set those to the side and I'm going to get my salt wash mixing cup out. My salt wash mixing cup, we pull the sleeves up. I'm going to use up this bluebird and peacock feather mix. I don't want to waste it, and it's really still in good shape. My I've got dried paint around the rim because I do sort of clean them, but not enough. But I don't want to waste this. I'm going to grab my water bottle and let me come over here to the workstation and grab a mixing stick. Now, this is well used, and this is my Rethunk Junk mixing stick, but it'll do the job. I'm going to spritz a little bit of water in here, and I'm going to go ahead and stir this and pour it at the same time. Stir and pour. There we go. want to get as much of that paint out of this container as I can, because when we're done today, I will clean this mixing container out. Just some hot water. For this cleanup, since I've had it for a little while, I'll probably put some Murphy's oil soap in there and just wash it out. Just wash it out. It might have to soak a little while, but that's okay too. Now, I have my paint in my mixing container, and I'm gonna get out my salt wash. In order to do this, I need a little bit thicker than pudding consistency, and I need a little bit less than what we would normally use if we were doing a salt wash color over color. Okay, I'll show you. I'll walk you through the salt wash. Guess what? Oh, let me come back over and tell you. Guess what? Salt wash is now officially a Rethunk Junk product. You can buy your salt wash from your authorized Rethunk Junk retailer. I have the pin. We're an authorized Rethunk Junk retailer, and we carry salt wash. Now, we've carried it for a while, and we have shown Laura and Tom how amazing the combination of Rethunk Junk paint and salt wash can actually be. And they finally gave in. I mean, we had to twist arms. We did. But the combination of Rethunk Junk paint and salt wash for any of your decor projects, and your furniture can be amazing. So make sure you stay tuned to the Rethunk Junk Q&A, the Creating with RTJ Paint Co. page. Watch our tutorials. We're going to show you all the different ways you can use salt wash and incorporate it with your Rethunk Junk paint products and all of your projects and products. If you have a booth space, you want to get salt wash in your toolkit so you can create a wider variety of amazing finished pieces. All right, back to our regularly scheduled project. I'm gonna take 1 scoop and put it in. I'm gonna take a 2nd scoop. Now, I'm not leveling these out. This is not flour, this is not my cake, but I'm gonna mix that. 2 scoops to about 4 ounces gives me the mix that I really like. Now, this is gonna be thick. It's gonna be thicker than I want. And that, my friends, is where the cloud will come in, because I want this color. I want my Christmas blues, but I want to lighten this just a little bit. So I've got it not too thick. Now that's perfect if we were going to do a piece of furniture. But to do our raised stenciling, let me get a baby wipe because I got paint on my finger and I am trying really hard not to wipe it off on my Christmas apron. All right, I'm going to take my cloud and I'm going to pour about 2 more ounces of paint in here. There we go. That's about, if you come over for Thanksgiving, I need you to know, this is how I cook. So I want to stir this a little bit thicker than pudding, just about the texture of frosting, smooth, movable. Yes, you can do this with other products. Yes, I have used other products. But the salt wash gives us a really interesting spin on being able to do raised stenciling, which I am now obsessed with. Little bit more of my cloud. I want a little bit thinner consistency going into this. Scrape my sides as I'm going. That's why your little mixing sticks are really important. There we go. Oh, just about the color I want. I love it. Love it. Little, it's a little thick, but it'll do the job. It'll do the job. Look at that. Nice, thick, consistency. Good morning, Alice. I'm so glad to see you. Let me grab my tape. I was in here yesterday working, and I should have just opened the doors. Should have. But let's do this. How about for the next 4 weeks from now till Christmas, how about if we're just open on Monday? We'll just be open on Monday. Because I know that there are a lot of things that you want to accomplish before Christmas, and I don't want you to miss out because I'm not here. So we're just going to be open for the next 4 weeks on Monday. Lynette, you can come by anytime. 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, now through Christmas. And Christmas Eve, I promise you, we're not staying open until 6 p.m. I promise you, we're not staying open until 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve. That's just not happening. I need a long winter's nap. I'm going to take a little bit of tape. I've got my frog tape. We're just going to pull it apart. I want to tack this down so I don't move it around. This is kind of a thin stencil. There are some really nice Mylar thick stencils that are made for raised stenciling. You know how I am though. I'm going to use what I have on hand and I'm going to make it work. So we're going to tack this down with a little bit of my green frog tape. Love this stuff. Perfect not to pull your paint back off when you have tender paint. It's a low tack tape, but it does a job. Can you see it real well? You can't really see where, you can kind of see where it says Merry across the top and it says Christmas going down. This will look fabulous, fabulous for a centerpiece on your mantle or on your entry table. I'm gonna scrape off my stir stick and set it to the side because I'll wash that off and use it again. I'm just frugal like that. You see how many times I've washed it and reused it? Just wash it off. It'll be okay. Now, just a really plain, simple putty knife. This one I've used frequently for putty. I did do the Oh Holy Night with like the cheapest jar of putty they had at the big box store. I wanted to see how the cheap stuff was going to work. Let me swap these so you don't miss a thing. There we go. And I'm going to take just about that much. Not a ton, not a lot, just some. Now, I don't know how we got here. There we are. The stencil is reusable, Chris. Don't get me wrong. I don't sell these. There are so many stencil makers, and if you have a Cricut, I understand you can cut these yourself. I don't have a Cricut, so if I need a stencil cut, I'm going to call my tall girl, Taylor, and I'm going to have her cut it for me because she has a Cricut. She has an awesome machine. So you want to get, you want to cut your stencils thicker than this so that they can stand up. When you're done, you just wash it off. I actually hang mine in the shower. I take my top piece of tape, hang it on the shower wall, and take my handheld and wash it down. It works well. And then you just take this, and then you just cover gently, because you don't want to tear your stencil. You don't want to pull a small area up. And you just cover it up. Just like that. Give yourself a little extra because it's raised stenciling. You want it to be raised when you pull the stencil off, right? It's hard to tell. Hard to tell when you first start. What did I do with I need to keep this right here in my hands, or I'm going to wipe paint on my Christmas apron. I have a separate one for home when I cook. This one's for work. This one's for here while we're creating Christmassy stuff. And just like that, okay? I don't mind a little extra texture. So I'm not worried if my lines are perfectly smooth. I found while I was working with my first few pieces, I really like the texture of the texture. Now, to me, the object of texture is to have lines and grooves so you can add dimension. If you're really particular and you want your lines smooth, take a little bit more time to work your salt wash and paint mixture to keep it straight and smooth. Me, y'all know I'm just going to put it on there, right? Y'all know that, right? I'm just going to do it. And I'm only getting a little bit for each letter. Not a little bit, because I want that dimension. I want that raised area. I love texture. There are a couple of textures I don't like. Corelle dinnerware is a texture I just can't stand. Don't know why. It feels funny. Don't like it. Texture on my paint, love it. Absolutely love it. And you just want to gently apply it. Just so simply and easily, just apply it. Looks like blobs on a board, doesn't it? Wait till you see this. Now, don't leave your stencil on your board to dry. This is Rethunk Junk paint, and this is salt wash. It will dry rock hard. And that's good. That's good for the project you're working on. That's not good for your stencil. So when you're done putting your stencil paste, your salt wash and Rethunk Junk mix, when you're done putting that together, I'm going to stick that in there because we're going to do another one. Don't just do one, do multiple. I'm going to pull the tape at the bottom, and I'm going to pull the tape on the sides. A little bit more right here. All right, you ready? Ready, set? How cool is that? How absolutely cool is that? It's so cool. Let's do it again. Let's do it again on the fence post. This is just a dog-eared fence post, recycled. Look at that. Do you love it? I love it. Look at can you see? Now, once that dries, we're going to do things with it. But look how amazing that looks. And you've got some depth there to your letters. Missed a little bit of the R, it's okay. Nobody said it's got to be perfect. You see the extra right here? We're going to leave that alone until it dries. Now, I can wipe it off right now while it's wet. Not a big deal. But I have found if I leave it alone till it dries, I can take my little straight razor blade that Lynette hates to see me use, and I can just chip it off. So either way, you can wipe it off right now, or you can leave it alone and chip it off after it's dry. This is going to take a little while to dry today because it's cold. But that is, can you see the depth on that from the side. Once I paint this, you'll be able to really, really see it. I'm probably going to set this to the side so I don't mess it up. And let's get this. Let's do this. Now, I've got paint and salt wash on the board, on the stencil. It's okay. It's okay. I would typically do a couple and then go wash it. But since we're live, I want to cover these over. I want to show you how to put it on. And a nice smooth application all the way down the board again. Salt wash and Rethunk Junk paint. And this blue is Bluebird and Peacock Feather. And now it has some cloud in it because I wanted to tone it just a little bit lighter. I want my Merry Christmas blues in here. It's a blue Christmas where I'm from. My mother always had blue Christmas lights on the house. And I love Christmas. I love Christmas. My nanny always had colored lights on the tree. I don't remember, Laura, if you're here, did Nanny ever have Christmas lights on the house? I don't remember that she did. But boy, the inside of her house at the holidays, the kids' table at Thanksgiving, the games we would play, up the stairs, down the banister until we'd get in trouble for sliding down the banister. Did you ever bump down the steps? We did that too. And now, here we are with salt wash and Rethunk Junk paint. And we're creating a whole different set of holiday memories. Y'all, things like this make the perfect gift. When you have family coming in for Thanksgiving, you can make 3 or 4 of these right fast, and you can dole them out at Thanksgiving when everyone shows up, and then everyone will have a Merry Christmas to go home with, courtesy of you. All right, you ready? She did have lights on the tree. I mean on the house, I don't remember that. I would love to have a picture of that if someone had it. I wonder if Aunt Alice has a picture. Look at that, y'all. Boom. This is really heavy with product right now. Really heavy with product. I don't want to set it down because the back of it has a little bit of overage. And the thing to do if you're at home is to take this right now and go wash it off. Me, I'm going to set it over here, completely out of the way. There we go. So it doesn't touch anything. This right here, I stuck my thumb in it on the stencil and then put my thumb down, see? But the rest of it, and this one's really thick. Can you see that depth? This is going to be beautiful once we shade it and tone it to go with this aged fence board. Do you love this? Just wash that stencil off gently. You don't want to tear it, you don't want to bend it. Let this dry. It'll take a little while, it's okay. Bake a cake, fix that pumpkin pie, do something else. Don't stick your fingers in it. You're going to want to let this dry for a little while. Rethunk Junk paint generally dries quickly. when you add your salt wash to it, it takes a little while for it to dry. This is beautiful and amazing. And I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I wanna show you how to paint it in, because now, let me grab 3 paintbrushes. I'm going to grab my Miracle brush. I'm going to grab a 1 inch, and I'm going to 1/2 inch and a 1 inch. And I'm going to set those down. I'm going to start with hazelnut, okay? If your lid is stuck because you're delinquent like me and you did not wipe the edges off, just give it a couple of firm tamps on the top. And here we go. All right. Now I'm going to need you to get in touch with Aunt Alice because I really need to see a picture of that. Our grandmother lived in the most amazing Gothic house ever. If I ever had any Gothic indications in my life, it's because I grew up in the most amazing Gothic farmhouse in the Northeast. It looks nothing like it's supposed to now, but I know what it looked like. I remember sliding down that banister. I love the Christmas memories that we have. And I hope that you can create some amazing new Christmas memories in your family too. And raised stenciling, you can pre-make some raised stencils if you've got the kids coming for Thanksgiving and you need them to do something besides run up and down the stairs. Create some raised stencil boards so that way they're dry by the time the kids get to your house. Use the coffee discount code. Shop the collection on our website, the Coffee and Create collection, and get your materials. Get your salt wash, your mixing cup, and your Rethunk Junk paint. Today until 1 o'clock, you can save 15% on any of the products we're using. Now, put your paint on liberally, so this will be great for the kids because you know they're going to pile that paint on. Get some of the little plastic cups like I use and give each one of the kids some paint to work with. If you don't have stencils on hand but you want to do this for the kids, then go to your big box stores. There are tons of stencils, and some of your local retailers, your shop small businesses might have some in stock for you to purchase. Me, I would have a really hard time putting any in inventory because y'all know I would want every single stencil I ever saw. I can't just buy one. I would have to have all the things. And if you don't have time to create your raised stencil board in time for the kids to get to your house for Thanksgiving, give me a call and I'll do one for you. I'll do several for you so the kids all have their own to work with. We'll create something wonderful for them to play with. We have lots of make and take kits in stock for the kids coming for the holidays. They make great stocking stuffers. Now, because this is raised stenciling, let me bring you in closer. Let me get this little magnifying glass. I want to show you some things. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? One of the things that I always caution is watch your ridges and your edges. If you'll look around the back side of Joseph, you'll see a little ridge of paint. Now, If I was doing a piece of furniture, I'd be very careful about that. Because I'm doing a stenciled board, I want that extra layer of ridge right there. If I went back and showed you the shading on, let me go back and show you the shading on the first one I did. I can't bring you in any closer, it won't let me. But you see the dark spaces around Mary and Joseph and the very first wise man? That's because, and the donkey's legs, that's because I allowed a little bit of pooling of the paint right around the stencil. And again, this is raised stenciling with Rethunk Junk paint and salt wash. Let me tip my wise man. You can see the pooling right here around baby Jesus. It's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. If you don't want it, then just take your brush and pull some of it off. Just pull against the raised stencil and pull some of it off. It'll be okay. I kind of like it. It gave me a really neat effect. So I have a tendency to want to leave it like that. I'm done with my hazelnut, and if I was a good person, I would take my wipe right this second and wipe this lip edge off. Because otherwise, my paint's gonna dry and my lid's gonna glue itself shut. And then I'm gonna have to tap it. And that's just noisy, and nobody needs all that nonsense this early in the morning on 1 cup of coffee. Right, Laura? Yes. So put the lid back on, and we're done with the hazelnut. I don't have my fan on this, and it'll take a little while for this to dry. I don't want to disrupt it too much, but I will disrupt it just enough. So I'm grabbing my detail brushes. I guess I better move the camera back out. So I've got my detail brushes. I have my Rethunk Junk resin metals in rose gold and champagne and classic gold. These are thebomb.com, and I'm gonna leave you closed into where we are. I want you to see baby Jesus. Now, in the first board I showed you, it really looked like baby Jesus had a light behind him. And that really was just my metals, just my resin metals, nothing more. I'm gonna go ahead and take the lids off. Yesterday I worked with all 3 of these metals. And no, I didn't wipe the lids off before I closed them up because I was in a hurry. And so a good firm, not hard, a good firm tap. I've got all my metals open. I'm gonna have to ease you out so you can see my metals. My closed captioning is doing crazy thing. So I have my rose gold, my classic gold, and my champagne. I have my detail brushes, and when I say detail brushes, I have these little T90 brushes like this. It's just a kit. Yes, I got them from Walmart. It's not bad, don't judge me. They work. They really work. We've got just a little bit more time. So I want to show you this. And I know he's not dry, but it's okay. So let's get some of this gold on baby Jesus. Now, I'm really putting this on there because I don't want to blend it with the hazelnut. I want the gold to stand out. I'll smooth it in a minute. I just want to get it on there. But just these resin metals gave the illusion that baby Jesus had lights behind him. He's a superstar. And this is his time of the year. It is almost his birthday month. And I figure if I'm entitled to 30 days, he's entitled to all the time we can give him. So there we go. That is baby Jesus in Resin Metals Classic Gold. Beautiful, huh? Let me bring you back in so you can see the magic of the resin metals. Look how beautiful. Now I'll do the star also. We might as well go ahead and do that. We've got time. Love this star. Any of your stencils can be done this way. Just a little bit of salt wash. We used 2 scoops of salt wash. I still have product left to work with. So if you're only doing a small project, then put a little bit of salt wash and then add your paint to your salt wash instead of doing it the way I did. If you're just doing a small project, do your salt wash first and add your paint to it until you get your consistency. Make sure you know how much you're putting in so that you can duplicate it. You've got your little measuring scoop in your salt wash cans. Now, the sampler size does not come with a salt wash scoop. But just get a cheap set of measuring spoons from the Dollar Tree. You know, the Dollar Tree is a great source of crafting supplies. All right, so there's our star in gold. Touch that in. Now I want to do the other stars. This is obsessive, y'all. It really is. And I'm just barely putting the gold on because I don't want to smear it in. It's still wet. The beauty and tragedy of being live all at the same time is that nothing is going to dry in enough time for me to show you the whole thing. Now, are you on our mailing list? Have you signed up to be on our mailing list on our website? If you have not, today's your day. Let me tell you why. It is Thanksgiving week. It is almost Black Friday. And while we typically do not participate in the big box stores' need to dump excess inventory that's been in the warehouse for a really long time, we are going to host live sales. We will probably go live on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Then we'll do Coffee and Create on Tuesday, and we can use all the supplies that you purchased throughout the weekend. If you are on our mailing list, then you will be assured to receive a special coupon code that you are only going to get through email. You won't get it here in the store. You won't get it on Facebook. You won't even get that coupon code when we go live. You will only get that coupon code if you are already on our mailing list. So sales on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, they will all be different sales And the products we have on sale during those sales, you'll have to grab while you're shopping our live sale. And on our mailing list, you will receive an extra code that you will not get anywhere else. Is that a shameless way for me to collect email addresses? It absolutely is. But it's the only way I can give you extra. And you deserve extra. You're here every week. Now, I have a lot of product right here. And this is going to take a while to dry. And it's starting to mix, and I don't want to mix it, so I want to stop. But look at the tone we're getting from having the rose gold over the top of the classic gold. I mean, it glows, doesn't it? Wait till you see. I really want to add it, but I know it's just going to blend. I'm only going to hit the tips. Look at that champagne. Now this really is going to take a long time to dry now. Look at this champagne on the edges. I've got my little fine line cheapo artist brush. Because I'm frugal. And I love a good brush. Don't get me wrong. But these work just as well for what I do. They get my detail work done. Oh, I love the way this is looking. This is almost going to look like some slag glass here. Oh, I love it. I might have to pour some clear resin over the top of this one. I might. That's a whole other live. We will be live with tutorials. I'm just going to spend the weekend sitting right here in the studio making things. I'm going to let Charlotte and Mel wait on customers. I'm going to create and talk to you all weekend. Look at that. Can you see the glow? Isn't that amazing? Wait till you see it dry. I don't want to touch baby Jesus right now because I don't want to mess his look up. Let me ease you back out a little bit so you can see. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Tink-a-tink. Let's go back out. Let's go back out so you can see the whole board. Can you see the glow now? Oh, classic gold, rose gold, and champagne. Do I need all three? Probably not. Probably not, but do I want all three? Absolutely. More is more. And let me pull you back in. Let me see how close I can get you to that star. Because we totally have this amazing slag glass look going on right now. Just with paint. Just with paint. When that dries, that's going to be so beautiful. I'm excited. I know you can tell. I'm wiping my brush off. I'm going to ease you back out now. Raised stenciling using Rethunk Junk paint and salt wash. It's a real thing. And if you want to know how this applies to you using furniture, well, don't despair, don't panic, don't worry, because you know I'm going to teach you how. I just wanted to show you some Christmas how. I will add some layers of color to the Merry Christmas leaners. We have a porch leaner and we have a mantelpiece leaner. I will add some layers of color to those, and I may go live again, maybe around 1 or 2 today. You don't know. I don't know. Let me see how much work I can get done. I've got a lot to do today. It's Thanksgiving week, y'all. We will be open until Wednesday, 6 p.m. We will be closed on Thursday because I have a lot of food to cook and eat. Emphasis on the eat. Emphasis. I have a gnat who's trying to survive the temperatures outside by coming inside. And he wants to be on camera, so he's right up in my face. I will let this board dry. Oh, holy night. I will let this manger scene dry, and I will take some additional pictures to share with you so you can see the process as this goes. Maybe this will be dry by the time I go live. Maybe if I wait until 2 o'clock when it's break time, then I can go live again. And sales on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Hop over to the website. If you're on the website watching, click that shop button right there. You can purchase everything that we are using. I still have to throw the resin metals in the collection. If you're watching on Facebook, there's a link right there. You can click that link and you can kick over to our, let me see if I can add the collection. You can kick over to our collection on our website. Let's see, there we go, done. Oh, there we go. All the products plus a few. Your discount code is coffee. Spend $50 or more and get 15% off one of your items. It's not hard to spend $50 in crafting supplies, but what you can make with them is immeasurable. Thank you for being here for Coffee and Create this morning. I appreciate you so, so much. I'm Diane, and I'm going to get busy finishing up all these projects. I'm excited. We have Thanksgiving, and then we have 4 days of online sales. I have a lot of work to do and food to eat in between and miles to go before I sleep. Thanks for being here, y'all. I appreciate you so much.